If you're a fan of classic TV shows and action-packed series, then you definitely know who Richard Dean Anderson is. The man behind the iconic characters like MacGyver and Colonel Jack O'Neill has had an impressive career in acting and producing. Sadly, despite his impressive legacy, the actor seems to have been aging pretty roughly as of late. Join Facts First as we explore how he played MacGyver in the 80s, but time has not been kind to him. Richard Dean Anderson will always be MacGyver to fans. Richard Dean Anderson's journey to stardom began in Minnesota, where he grew up with dreams of becoming a hockey player. However, fate had different plans for him, as he ended up pursuing a career in acting instead. After briefly studying at St. Cloud State University, Anderson moved to New York City in the late 70s to start up his acting career. He landed a few small roles in theater productions before making his way to LA to pursue his dreams further. It wasn't long before Anderson scored his breakthrough role as Dr. Jeff Weber on the popular daytime soap opera General Hospital. The role earned him his first loyal fan following and set the stage for his future success in the industry. But it was his portrayal of the clever and resourceful secret agent MacGyver that made Anderson a household name. The show's 7-year run from 1985 to 92 cemented his status as an action hero, and his unique problem-solving skills on the show even spawned the term MacGyvering, used to describe improvising with available resources in tricky situations. One interesting story from his time on the show comes from the first season, when he accidentally cut himself on a piece of glass during a scene. The cut was so deep it required stitches, but Anderson didn't want to disrupt filming by taking time off to heal. Instead, he simply had the wound bandaged and continued working, with the camera crew carefully avoiding shots that showed his injured hand. Another memorable moment from his run in MacGyver was the infamous MacGyverisms. These were the creative solutions that MacGyver would come up with while making use of seemingly ordinary objects. For instance, these solutions often involve some combination of duct tape, paper clips, and chewing gum. Anderson himself was reportedly a big fan of these scenes and would often come up with his own ideas for MacGyverisms. Anderson's performance has also earned him a dedicated fan base, and he's been known for his kindness and generosity towards them. During his heyday, he would always take the time to sign autographs and take photos with fans who approached him, and he reportedly made a habit of sending holiday cards to some of his biggest supporters. But now that Richard is out of the public spotlight, his interactions with fans are much more limited. Richard also performed to much avail on Stargate SG-1. Anderson continued to shine in numerous TV shows and movies, including his role as Colonel Jack O'Neill in the sci-fi hit Stargate SG-1. He took on the role of producer for several episodes of the show, showcasing his talent and passion behind the camera. His co-stars, as well as other members of the show's crew, have frequently praised the star for his generosity, humility, and all-around good nature. He was known for his penchant for pranking his fellow actors on set and keeping things lighthearted, even during tense and challenging filming days. One particularly amusing anecdote involves Richard, quote-unquote, kidnapping his co-star Michael Shanks during filming of the Season 4 episode Beneath the Surface. In the episode, the SG-1 team members are stripped of their memories and turned into factory workers on an alien planet. Anderson, who directed the episode as well as starred in it, decided to have a little fun at Shanks' expense by having him disappear from set midway through filming. As it turned out, Anderson had arranged for Shanks to be whisked away by a group of actors in alien costumes who proceeded to take him on a wild and entirely improvised adventure around the Vancouver area. Shanks was held captive for several hours until he was eventually recovered by Anderson and the rest of the crew, who presented him with a cake to celebrate his safe return. In addition to on-set shenanigans, Richard Dean Anderson also contributed in more official ways. He served as an executive producer on SG-1 for several seasons and was heavily involved in the creative direction of the series. He was known for his deep understanding of the show's intricate mythology and his contributions to the scripts, which often included his trademark wit and humor. Anderson was actually the one who suggested the series' distinctive sci-fi take on ancient Egypt. The showrunners had originally planned to focus on ancient Rome as the basis for the alien villains, but Anderson pushed for the idea of the Goa'uld and their Egyptian-inspired mythology instead. Richard Dean Anderson is a notable philanthropist. Anderson supports a variety of causes, including environmental preservation and animal rights. His dedication to giving back speaks to his character as a genuinely good person. One of his most notable contributions to society has been his work with the Waterkeeper Alliance, a global organization that promotes clean waterways. The actor has been a longtime supporter and advocate for the organization, which aims to protect and preserve water resources across the world. He's also been an advocate for autism research and treatment. He has a personal connection to the cause, as his daughter Wiley was diagnosed with autism at a young age. He's worked with organizations such as Autism Speaks to help raise awareness and funds for research. He's also been involved in the creation of several programs and initiatives that help individuals with autism and their families. Another cause that is close to Anderson's heart is the fight against multiple sclerosis. He's been a longtime supporter of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society and has participated in many fundraising events to support their efforts. In addition, he's spoken publicly about his own struggles with the disease, which has helped to raise awareness and understanding of the condition. He's also a supporter of the American Red Cross and has been involved in several disaster relief efforts, including the Hurricane Katrina response. How is Richard holding up after all these years? Despite all the amazing things Richard Dean Anderson has accomplished, it appears that the retired actor is a little bit worse for wear. That is, according to his base of fans. In a recent article, fans have claimed that Richard Dean Anderson looks unrecognizable in photos shared online. Some fans have suggested he may have undergone some cosmetic procedures, while others simply believe he's aged dramatically. Despite the speculation, there's been no official word on whether or not Richard has undergone any procedures. The photos show Anderson, now 70 years old, wearing a baseball cap and baggy clothes as he walked around with a friend. His hair is a bit longer than fans may remember, and he's sporting a grizzled beard that he's grown out. Some comments online even compared his appearance to that of a homeless man. While it's certainly true Anderson looks a bit different than he did during his MacGyver days, it's important to keep in mind it's been over 3 decades since that show aired. It's natural for anyone to look older and a bit weathered after so much time has passed. Despite the shock value of the images, many fans were quick to jump to Anderson's defense. They pointed out he's most likely just enjoying his retirement and living life the way he wants to. In fact, Anderson himself has been vocal about his desire to live a low-key life. He's largely stayed out of the spotlight in recent years and has focused more on his personal life and hobbies than on acting. So while it may be surprising to see Anderson looking different than his MacGyver days, it's important to remember that everyone ages and changes over time. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Richard Dean Anderson? Let us know in the comments section below.